Foster safety. Foster hope. Foster joy. Foster curiosity. Foster support. Become a foster parent, because every parent makes a difference. Foster, Massachusetts.
The ebb and the flow, how it comes and goes, it will be back again. And if now's not the time, don't pay any mind to distractions or doubt. From within and without. There is nothing to prove, and it's all up to you, and they don't owe you a thing. But there is still plenty reason to sing, so I'm gonna sing. And a layer of dust, and a hungry rust, I am born again. In the shadows, between the cracks, I'll find a way to make my comeback. The ebb and the flow, how it comes and goes, it will be back again. Midnight on a Saturday with your apartment to yourself. Come July, we'll set the record straight. Writing notes to your future self again. Next time around might have a plan. Brave the night and settle in. Silence can be definite.
It's been repeated. He's been repeatedly called a racist, despite evidence to the contrary. Now, in honor of Black History Month, President Donald Trump has issued a powerful statement by way of a presidential proclamation that shows his support for Black Americans. The proclamation began with a look at the slave origin of many Black American families. It then highlighted the purpose of Black History Month, in the context of the past, present, and future, not just for Black Americans, but for all Americans. National African American History Month is an occasion to rediscover the enduring stories of African Americans and the gifts of freedom, purpose, and opportunity they have bestowed on future generations. It is also a time to commemorate the countless contributions of African Americans, many of whom lived through and surmounted the scourge of segregation, racial prejudice, and discrimination to enrich every fiber of American life. Their examples of heroism, patriotism, and enterprise have given people of all backgrounds confidence, courage, and faith to pursue their own dreams. It is notable that a businessman president focused on the many entrepreneurial accomplishments of Blacks in America. These accomplishments tie in well with the new opportunities Blacks have due to the Trump administration's success in increasing jobs in America and sending Black unemployment levels to historic lows. The proclamation then revealed the theme for this year's Black History Month, along with the reason it was chosen. This year's theme, Black Migrations, highlights the challenges and successes of African Americans as they moved from farms in the agricultural South to centers of industry in the North, Midwest, and West, especially the migrations that occurred in the 20th century. Through these migrations, millions of African Americans reshaped the demographic landscape of America, starting new lives in cities such as Philadelphia, Detroit, Chicago, and New York City. In that time of great change, inspirational leaders, such as Annie Turnbull Malone, charted a new path for many African American men and women. Annie Malone, the daughter of former slaves, became one of the most successful entrepreneurs in America at the turn of the century, and provided opportunities for African Americans to pursue meaningful careers. Through mentorship and education, she empowered others to start their own businesses. She is one of many inspirational African Americans in an era that also produced luminaries such as Mary McLeod Bethune and Booker T. Washington, both of whom encouraged and emboldened disenfranchised Black students to push through obstacles and realize their God-given potential. Then the proclamation pointed to the accomplishments of some more modern-era Blacks, celebrating their lives and contributions. American history brims with the stories of African Americans who forever changed their communities and our country. We will, for example, never forget the legendary Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin, whose unforgettable voice transcended genre and left music transformed, and whose broad appeal in an era of deep division helped to bridge racial divides. Another trailblazer, baseball legend Jackie Robinson, known ubiquitously in Major League Baseball as 42, shattered institutional racism in American athletics when he became the first African-American player to appear in a big league game. Over his career, his exceptional talent and noble character in the face of racial hatred undermined the twin false ideologies of segregation and racial inequality. The spirit and determination of these and other African-American heroes make our nation proud and define what it means to be American. As the proclamation came to its conclusion, it expounded upon how this celebratory month is something all Americans can embrace and rejoice in. National African American History Month is a call to each and every citizen of our great land to reflect on the cultural, scientific, political, and economic contributions of African Americans, which are woven throughout American society. We remember, learn from, and build on the past, so that, together, we can build a better and more prosperous future for all Americans. The president then made it all official and urged public officials, educators, librarians, and all the people of the United States to create appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities that would celebrate and further educate people about Black history in America. For someone who is allegedly a raging racist, Trump certainly makes a poor showing of it. And despite the ongoing claims of the left, his words here show his desire for the people of this country to be united, and help provide a way for that to happen. And that is something everyone celebrate. Too bad the establishment media isn't covering this remarkable and powerful statement from the president that helps make that case. But that wouldn't fit their narrative, would it?
Okay, it's my pleasure to do the proclamation. Mr. France Wilson will receive the proclamation, and I have a short introduction for him, then I will read the proclamation. Mr. Wilson moved from Montgomery, Alabama to Rockville in January 1971 to accept position as Director of Minority Health at Group Health Association of America. His wife is Lois Wilson. She's in the audience. They have 3 daughters who are graduates of Richard Montgomery High School. Mr. Wilson was active with civil rights in Montgomery, Alabama. Notably, he marched in the 1965 Selma to Montgomery civil rights protest for the right to vote. He returned in 2015 for the 50th anniversary of the Selma to Montgomery March for the right to vote. Former President Barack Obama was the keynote speaker. He served as director of the Cleveland Avenue Branch YMCA. The avenue has been renamed the Rosa Parks Boulevard. Since coming to Rockville, his primary community service has been volunteer service with St. James Prison Ministry, a program conducted by several local churches, which includes his Gaithersburg Presbyterian Church, working together with staff at Montgomery County Correctional Facility. It is with this program where he serves as a spiritual advisor and counselor for inmates pending their release. And now I'll read the proclamation. Whereas, in 1976, Black History Month, later changed to National African American History Month, was formally adopted to honor and affirm the importance of African American history. And whereas National African American History Month is a time for all Americans to remember the stories of those who helped build our nation and took a stance against prejudice, and to applaud the efforts of organizations like the NAACP and the National Council of Negro Women, who over the years have advocated for the rights of African Americans. And whereas we are reminded of the major contributions African Americans have made to our country in the areas of business, education, sports, politics, science, social justice, and the arts. And whereas during National African American History Month, our youth are encouraged to use the past successes and challenges of African Americans as a model for leadership to build bridges and seek justice and equality for all. And whereas in this new year, let us be mindful of our past heroes who enriched our lives so greatly and assist our youth in creating additional opportunities to achieve the American promise. Now therefore, the Mayor and Council of Rockville do hereby proclaim the month of February 2019 to be National African American History Month in the city of Rockville, and encourage all residents to recognize and appreciate the many contributions made by African Americans throughout this region, and to participate in the many educational events honoring the contributions of African Americans. I so move the proclamation.
Hello, and peace be unto you. I'm Hasson Rashid, and this is your Human Service News and Information. I'll be here waiting for a little bit while longer. We had several opening videos that took up most of our time for today's show. So I guess you got what the theme is. The theme of today's show is National Black History Month, and shortly in a little while, I'll share with you some of the activities related to how Cambridge is celebrating Black History Month. Well, you know, the president opened up the show with his proclamation for Black History Month 2019, and there was a sort of a species of that presentation by the, I guess that was the Rockville, Maryland City Council, and their addition or rendition of the president's proclamation, and they gave a brief proclamation concerning Black History Month. But the thing is that I was expecting Cambridge, the mayor of Cambridge, to do something similar, but as of today or as of yet, it hasn't occurred. So I ran that one about the Rockville mayor's proclamation, African American History Month. Happy African Black American History Month here in Cambridge. Okay, I guess, we're going to try to get back to some of those celebration videos on Black History Month 2019 in just a minute, but I just like to just give you a short rundown of some of the Black History activities and how Cambridge is celebrating Black History Month 2019. And, if time permits, we'll see if we can get back to that video. Once again, I'm Hasson Rashid. This is your Human Service News and Information. It's good having you with us again. And I came to extend a universal cordial of peace out to you and goodwill, and that is peace be unto you. Peace be unto you. Okay, I don't want to forget that. That's how I approach this program every week. And okay, no, this week isn't an exception. Isn't a exception. So peace be unto you once again. Okay, I had a little difficulty. By the way, I had a little difficulty getting started here. We had some technical problems, but finally unraveled them and ironed them out, and we're back on the air again with your Human Service News and Information. Okay, an African American musical journey Thursday. That's February 14, 6:30 p.m. at the Cambridge Public Library. So if you're interested in some type of a Black History Month celebration on Thursday, February 14, 6:30 p.m., Cambridge Public Library, Lecture Hall, 449 Broadway, an African American musical journey from spirituals to R&B with the baritone Todd McNeil, tenor Christopher Hester, soprano Kristen Baldwin. Okay, author and commentator Kim McLaurin. Okay, Kim McLaurin, Wednesday, that's February 26, 6:30 p.m. The Cambridge City Hall, Sullivan Chamber, 795 Massachusetts Avenue. Refreshments will be served in celebration of Black History Month. The City of Cambridge Employees Committee on Diversity welcomes Kim McLaurin, Associate Professor and Graduate Program Director for popular fiction and public publishing at Emerson College in Boston. McLaurin is the author of critically acclaimed novels Taming It Down, Meeting of the Waters, and Jump at the Sun, and the memoirs of a divorced dog, Men, Motherhood, Midlife. Her latest essay collections, Womanish, A Grown Black Woman Speaks on Love and Life, was published in January 2019. Her works has appeared in New York Times, Glamour, The Washington Post, and other publications, and was listed in Best American Essays for 2017 and 2018. She's a former staff writer for the New York Times, the Philadelphia Inquirer, and the Associated Press. McLaurin appears regularly on the Emmy Award-winning show Basic Black, Boston long-running television program devoted to African American themes. Okay, so it's a open mic night on Thursday, February 28th, 6 to 8 p.m. Cambridge City Hall, second floor, 795 Massachusetts Avenue. Light refreshments will be served. So in celebration of Black History Month, the Office of Mayor McGovern is hosting an open mic. Community members were invited to contribute through song, dance, spoken word, poetry, readings, photography, and other art forms, or simply participate as an audience member. All are welcome. To submit audio or visual art forms, please contact Louis Vasquez. That's LVASQUEZ at cambridgema.gov. Additionally, the City Community Development Department is featuring an information page on African pioneers, and I have that right here for you. Okay, the Cambridge Community Development Department celebrates Black History Month. Also, celebrate Black History Month with they invite you to celebrate the Black History Month with the Community Development Department of the City Hall, City of Cambridge. And on Black History Month, we are recognizing African American pioneers who helped make our cities what they are today through leadership, advocacy, and invention. Learn more about some of the figures throughout American history who made significant contributions to urban development and how their legacies lived on through the CDD initiatives. That's an acronym for Cambridge Community Development. Okay, so community planning in parks. Now this is a famous local African American who was significant in the area of community planning and parks, and his name was Cap Wigington. Wigington was an architect who significantly shaped the urban forms of St. Paul's, Minnesota during the early 20s. As senior architect designer, he created schools, fire stations, golf clubhouses, airports, and more. So I think he was a local a person of color from Cambridge, Massachusetts. Okay, economic development. There was Massachusetts-based Paul Coffey, was an African-American entrepreneur running a shipping business between America, Canada, Europe, and the Caribbean from 1778 to 1810. And there was in 1886, there was Robert H. Carter, was the first African-American to become licensed pharmacist in Massachusetts, owning and operating 5 local drugstores in Boston and New Bedford. Okay, environmental planning, there was Dr. Joycelyn Simpson, and she was a research scientist for NASA, largely a Langley Research Center, who invited a new type of power-producing high-performance kinetic energy tile. When pressure is applied to the piece, it generates electricity, which when used with the wind and water power can lead to a low-cost, environmental-friendly sources. So that's a little bit about what Cambridge has contributed to Black American history, not only local but nationally too. So I don't think time is going to permit us to finish this whole list of events and local noticeable historical figures in Black history here in Massachusetts, in Cambridge. But okay, so this is going to be sort of a long month, and we'll have time to finish it as we progress through the month of Black History 2019. Okay, but I just want to bring this to your attention. Cambridge Digs Deep, number 3, Equity Inventory. So this is the 3rd installment of this Cambridge Digs Deep series. And it's going to be tomorrow. That's January 7th, from 5:30 to 8 p.m. in the Sullivan Chamber of the City Hall. So the 3rd conversation of the Cambridge Dig Deep series, entitled Equity Inventory, Inclusive Policies and Practices Across Cambridge City Department. Once again, it will be held Thursday. That's tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the Sullivan Chamber of Cambridge City Hall. Mayor McGovern, Councilman Sedekwi, and representatives from the City Department, including Equity and Inclusion, Human Services, Police, Cambridge Police, Public Schools, will answer questions and present on the city's work towards achieving a more equitable, anti-racist Cambridge through its policies, practices, and education. And don't you fail to get there. We all want to see you there. This is the 3rd installment, and this is the biggest one. So you get on out to the Cambridge City Hall, Sullivan Chamber, tomorrow, 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. for the 3rd installment of Cambridge Dig Deep's 3 Equity Inventory series. So you don't want to miss that one. That's going to be the big one. Okay, and okay, before I leave you, I'd like to just remind you that the Cambridge Winter's Farmers Market is back in full operation for the winter months, up until April 6th. Okay, so if you're interested in fresh produce, etc., on Saturdays you can attend the Cambridge Winners Farmers Market from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Cambridge Community Center Gymnasium, 5 Calendar Street, and they accept EBT SNAP, which was the former food stamp program. So if you'd like additional information about the Cambridge Winners Farmers Market, you can contact Janelle W. at cambridgegecc.org. Once again, that's Janelle W. at cambridgecc.org for more information, okay? Or you can contact or call Daniel Wolf, 617-349-4618. Once again, that's Daniel Wolf, 617-349-4618 for more information about the Cambridge Winners Farmers Market. And they'll be at that same location, 5 Calendar Street, every Saturday from 10 to 2 p.m. until April 6th. Okay, you know, I'm Hasson Rashid. I always leave you with the fact that you always keep your nose clean, play straight, and don't forget to help someone, assist someone, or help someone in need of your help. Okay, and until next time, I leave you as I came with the International Cordial of Peace, and that's peace be unto you.
So Mr. Wilson will come up for just a few minutes.
First of all, I want to thank the council for the opportunity to be here. You heard that my family and I moved from Montgomery, Alabama in 1971. And he mentioned that we have 3 daughters